something that completely changed how I looked at life. I learned that holding on to the past destroys the future and makes the present a living hell.
Ivan Burnell has lived what he talks about. Listen as he shares with you just a portion of his incredible story. Powerful, thought-provoking, eye-opening, motivating, well worth the investment. These are just a few of the comments Ivan has received. The universal truths that Ivan teaches will give you the winning edge. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ivan Burnell.
You can overcome any adversity facing you today. How do I know? If this little boy from Brooklyn can do it, you can too. By education and experience, I'm an engineer. I helped put a man on the moon. Now, engineers are traditionally very practical and pragmatic, and quite often very rigid. Was I rigid? When I would come home from work and mow my lawn, I did it in my suit and tie and my jacket button because I felt more comfortable that way. I was in control. You know, I thought everything was going great. I had a beautiful home, a wonderful job. I just found out that I was getting a promotion up the corporate ladder. So when I was stuck at the end of a line of traffic on the way home one day, I figured to myself, hey, what's your hurry? You're less than a mile from home. Sit back and relax. I had a few moments to reflect. Was I really happy? Not really. My wife and I were having trouble getting along. Was I successful? Well, I had a good salary and a lot of things, but I never really felt successful. Was I... Just then I looked in the rearview mirror. I saw two hands gripping a steering wheel and two eyes staring at me. I knew something was going to happen. I braced myself for the collision. Later on, I was told that he was traveling over 80 miles an hour when he hit me, and my body was thrown out of the car. The next thing I knew, I was looking at my body on the ground. Everything was silent. Someone said, is he alive? Is he alive? I was in my body looking up. I wanted to say yes, yes. I was saying yes to life. But nothing would move. I lost my memory, my ability to talk or think clearly. The world as I knew it came to an end. Oh yeah, pain was a constant companion. Well, wouldn't you think that that'd be the bottom of the barrel? Well, I certainly thought things couldn't get any worse. I was wrong. It wasn't the bottom, and things got worse. It was actually the beginning of a downhill slide into homelessness. Well, when I was homeless, I had a choice. I could stay homeless, which, by the way, had certain advantages, which you may not know about. None of the old problems, none of the old responsibilities. I could always find food and shelter. Or I could work my way back, solve my own problems, and reclaim my responsibilities. Well, it wasn't easy, but I did it. And today, I'm blessed with a new home, a new family, and I'm the CEO of my own business. Hey! Yeah, that sounds great, Ivan, doesn't it? You know, yeah, sure, I heard that one before, Ivan. How'd you do it? How'd I do it? I learned something that completely changed how I looked at life. I learned that holding on to the past destroys the future and makes the present a living hell. Are you holding on to failed relationships, things that would have been, should have been, could have been? Do you want people and situations to be different than they are? Well, that's exactly what I was doing. And I was walking through a blizzard one homeless night. I was feeling real sorry for myself. I'm a nice guy. How come no one likes me? You know, I worked so hard for everything, for my home, my family, my business. Everything was gone, gone, gone. I was looking at the world the way I thought it should be, and condemning myself and everyone around me for my condition. You see, I was holding on to the past, destroying the future, and making the present a living hell for myself and everyone around me. So let go. Well, that's easy, isn't it? Let go, right? Well, Ivan, how do you do that? Come on! That sounds good, but how do you do it? I've been trying to do that for years. Yeah, this is the way to do it. I'm going to give you 5 keys to successful living that I learned along the way. Key number 1, let go of anger against yourself and everyone else. Anger dulls your energy, confuses your vision, and just kind of doesn't work right anyway. So let it go. Remember this. You were doing the very best you knew how under the circumstances. And so was that other person. So let it go. By the way, you know, holding on to anger prevents you from making changes. Key number 2. Key number 2 is accept your reality, whatever it is. If you only got one leg, guess what? You only got one leg. If you live in Boston, you live in Boston. If you're starting out in business and you're undercapitalized, you're starting out in business and you're undercapitalized. Wishing it was any different will not make it so. Condemning yourself and others won't change it either. So, accept what is, then you can do something about it. Well, homeless, and I am now feeling really sorry for myself. Because, you know, all those possessions that I had, and I had a lot of them, should still be mine. That I didn't have them physically was painfully obvious. That was not a problem. But I was holding on to them emotionally. That's when I had to take a good hard look at me and to see what I had become. My reality was that I had nothing. I was homeless and literally in rags. That's when I actually accepted that, hey, those things weren't mine, and they never would be. I would have to go out and start all over again. Key number 3. I'd like to present that as a question. Are you ready? Who in here would truly like to be treated as though you were useless, insignificant, nothing, anything you thought, said, or did really was nothing? No hands? You know, I've asked that question now of thousands of people, if not tens of thousands. No one, not a soul, has ever said, hey, yeah, Ivan, I love being treated that way. Oh, but all too many has said, Ivan, I've been treated that way. You all want to feel and be treated as though you're important. That is the universal law. You are important, so is everyone else. By the way, it's also the secret to balance in your life. When you keep it in balance, your life is in balance. It goes out of balance when your life goes out of balance. Okay, quick example. Let's say I feel I'm insignificant and I mean nothing, and anything I say, think, or do, it means nothing, right? Good. How do people treat me? With contempt. Oh, yeah, you're thinking they treat me nicely, aren't you? At first, yeah, but later with contempt. Let's look at out of balance the other way. I'm more important than anyone. Anything you have to say, think, or do really doesn't matter. It's my infinite wisdom that counts. How do you think you're treated then? With contempt, you bet. So, accept your importance and treat everybody else the same way, and you'll keep your life in balance. Key number 4. In Brooklyn, we used to call it knowing where you're going. Well, a lot of people say, that's easy, Ivan, that's goal setting. Okay, I call it more than that. I call it my want list. What do I want and why do I want it? If I know what I want, I've got direction in life. If I know why I want it, I've got the rocket fuel to overcome whatever the problems are. They're just part of living. So, when I was working my way out of homelessness, I said, hey, Ike, what do you want your life to be like? I said, okay. Among other things, I decided I wanted a wife. Try that one when you're homeless, by the way. So a lot of people say, hey, Ivan, you set a goal. That's great. Yeah, you know what? If you leave it at that, it's like you go to the phone, you pick it up, and say, hey, Sears, send me some. Click. Guess what they do? Just that. That's usually not what you really wanted, and you're not happy with it. So the more specific you are about what you want and why you want it, the better chance you have of getting it and liking it when you get it. So I worked on my wife want list. Yes, ma'am. And I came up with 86 characteristics that I wanted in a life mate. Yeah, and I went about living life and doing my thing, and lo and behold, this beautiful, sexy, brilliant redhead shows up with all 86 characteristics. Wasn't hard for me to figure out who I was going to marry. Well, what woman with all those 86 characteristics would marry a homeless man in rags? Wow, now I was motivated. Make an history story short, in 3 years I became a star salesman, paid off my old debts, and reclaimed my responsibilities. And asked her to marry me. She said yes, that was more than 22 years ago. Am I happy? You bet I am. Getting what you want will always make you happy. Liking what you got will keep you that way. Key number 5. Never give up. Never quit. Your reward will come. Don't look for the where or the when. Just follow your dream, your passion, your goals, your desires, and success, which is your destiny, will come to you. How do I know? I did it. And so can you.